They ain't talking about nothing. They talking about 100,000 for everybody. 100 racks for everybody.
So like 15,000 a piece for everybody.
There's 6 niggas. It's 6 niggas. They want 100,000. I just told you I had 1.5, 1.8 on the table for the tour. Could have ballooned up to $3-4 million.
Right.
I say, yo, listen, Swiss, what are we doing here? Yo, that's all we got. I said, I ain't doing it, bro. I can't do it. Well, what you want? Not that. I want way more than that. So I got the number up to like 500,000, something like that. This for everybody still.
Right.
I'm like, nah, bro. This ain't even 100,000 for everybody. So Kiss hit me. He like, Killer, I knew you get that number up.
This is why Jadakiss was thanking Cam. And it wasn't about friendship. It was about trust. Cam knew that the first offer wasn't the real offer. And that's a lesson in business. A lot of people hear the first number and think that's the final number. Experienced negotiators know that that's where the real conversation just starts.
I knew you get that number up, nigga. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get the number up, man. We gonna get the number up, but we got a tour that's worth way more than this. Why are we doing this? Let's do it after the tour. So Capo like, Cam is in Madison Square Garden. They have a fight that night. The camera's gonna be set up, this, that, and the third. They can't do it another time. I'm like, nah, bro, I ain't doing this shit. So Capo said to me, Cam, every dollar I make from this Verzuz, I will give to you. I just want to perform in the Garden again. So I'm like, damn, Capo really want to perform, do this Verzuz. I'm like, if he wanted to give up all the money he making, that mean he really want to do this.
Right.
All right, fuck it, let's do it. All right, now I got to start negotiating with Thriller, whatever the fuck.
Triller.
Yeah. I got to start calling them because I'm like, if this nigga want to give up all this money, I'm not going to take Capo money, but that's how bad he want to do it. So I call Swiss, I call Triller people. I can't remember their name. My homegirl, Melissa, worked for them. And I ran the number up.
Notice what changed Cam's mindset. It wasn't just about money. Once he saw how much performing in Madison Square Garden meant to Jim Jones, he realized that he had the leverage. And that's how business works. When you understand what the other side values most, you can structure a deal that works for everybody instead of arguing over just one number.
Now, I ain't going to tell you what they got. They got more than that. I worked it out so niggas got more than that. So I'm like, now I got to start working out for me because we got a tour on the table and now they got to wait. Now, the people that's doing the tour, they don't want to do us to do the Verzuz because they feel like if people see us do the Verzuz, the tour ain't going to sell no tickets because they already seen all the songs. Right. So I felt them. So I said, all right, cool. Everybody was happy with what they got. I said, I'm not happy because the tour's not happening. I need 25% of the door.
This is probably the biggest gem in the whole conversation. Cam stopped negotiating like an artist and started negotiating like an owner. He wasn't just asking for a bigger check anymore. He wanted percentages, equity, back-end money, producer fees, different ways to get paid. And that's how wealthy people think. They don't just chase the upfront money. They build multiple ways to win from the same deal.
He said, I bet. I said, I need an additional 25% for putting this whole shit together because I wasn't going to do it. If my brother ain't say he was willing to give me all his money, I would have just had me and him would have just argued. But I said, this is how passionate he was to want to do it. I negotiated stock in Triller. I said, I need some of the stock money that's in Triller.
You had an Al Heyman deal.
Yeah, I mean, I only finished telling you. I said, I need some of the stock that's in Triller too. I need part of the company. They said, all right, Killer, now you wilding. I said, I'm not wilding. Matter of fact, I need 6 beats from Swiss and 6 beats from Timberland too. They said, all right, what else you want? I said, let me think, nigga. I ain't finished thinking. Let me think of what else I want. Everything I asked for, they just kept giving it to me. So I ended up getting stock in Triller, 25% of the door, Another 20% for putting the deal together. The beats from Swiss, the beats from Timberland, which I didn't never use them yet because I wasn't really on a music thing the last couple of years, just for fun. And the back end, if they sold out, I said some of the back end, pause. So that's why I ended up doing the deal, because I didn't even want to do the shit. And then when we got there that night, it was just pandemonium, you know.